The Eastern Front of World War I was marked by shifting tides of conflict and strategic maneuvering. Among the significant events that defined this theater of war was General Paul von Hindenburg's final offensive, a decisive campaign aimed at stopping the relentless advance of the Russian military. The success of this offensive not only changed the course of the war, but also played a pivotal role in shaping the geopolitical landscape of the early 20th century. A desperate situation. By the early months of 1917, the Eastern Front had been a scene of turmoil, with both the Central Powers and the Allies engaging in a fierce struggle for supremacy. The Russian Empire, grappling with internal unrest and the strains of war, appeared vulnerable. In response to this vulnerability, General Hindenburg, along with his Chief of Staff Erich Ludendorff, devised a grand offensive plan to break through the Russian lines and force a decisive victory. The Brusilov offensive and German countermeasures. Prior to Hindenburg's offensive, the Russian forces had initiated the Brusilov offensive in 1916, a powerful push that caused significant losses to the Austro-Hungarian and German armies. The Russian attack succeeded in creating a gap in the enemy lines, but due to a lack of resources and coordination, they were unable to capitalize fully on their gains. Recognizing this as an opportunity, Hindenburg and Ludendorff aimed to exploit the Russian weaknesses and regain the strategic initiative. The Hindenburg Line Offensive. Hindenburg's final offensive, often referred to as the Hindenburg Line Offensive or the Operation Faustschlag, was launched on February 18, 1917. This offensive was designed to achieve a swift and overwhelming victory by employing a combination of carefully planned tactics, superior artillery, and the element of surprise. The Germans focused on a sector of the Eastern Front that had already suffered significant damage from previous battles, capitalizing on the weakened Russian positions. The German forces executed a series of successful attacks, quickly pushing through the Russian lines. The offensive capitalized on the element of surprise and strategic mobility, allowing the Germans to encircle and capture large numbers of Russian troops. The aggressive nature of the offensive forced the Russian army into a retreat that ultimately led to the collapse of their front lines. Outcome and implications. Hindenburg's offensive had a profound impact on the Eastern Front and the broader war effort. The successful campaign inflicted heavy casualties on the Russian forces, hastening the decline of an already weakened Russian empire. The Russian withdrawal had strategic implications, as it freed up German forces to be redeployed to other fronts, particularly the Western Front where the tide of war had been turning against the Central Powers. Furthermore, the Hindenburg offensive contributed to the destabilization of the Russian government, eventually leading to the Russian Revolution and the abdication of Tsar Nicholas II. The ripple effects of the offensive were felt far beyond the battlefield, as it helped to shape the tumultuous political landscape of post-war Russia. Hindenburg's final offensive on the Eastern Front marked a turning point in the conflict, demonstrating the impact of strategic innovation, well-executed tactics, and timely action. The offensive's success was a testament to the general's ability to exploit weaknesses in the enemy's positions, resulting in a significant shift in the fortunes of the Central Powers. The consequences of this offensive were far-reaching, contributing to the decline of the Russian Empire, altering the balance of power, and setting the stage for the geopolitical transformations that followed World War I.